Hello everybody and welcome to another tutorial here on noisejunkies.net. In this Cinema 4D tutorial, we're going to be exploring MoGraph and how we can import audio to create some interesting animations. Now, there's actually a lot of tutorials covering that, but I'm probably the first one to actually use a metal song, which kind of creates some drastic effects and we need to take some measures about it. So for this tutorial, I'm actually going to be using a song from a Disturbed album called Asylum. It came a while ago and it's an awesome album, potentially the best album in my opinion this year. They released it in 2010, like in August or so. I purchased it, it's awesome. And I'm going to be using the single Asylum or a little sample of it. So I hope YouTube doesn't really block it, but I mean, it shouldn't be a big deal. I'm just getting like 20 seconds of it and I'm trying to give credit to Disturbed who actually made the song. Anyways, with that said, we can already start. Now, one thing that we have to understand about audio files, and this is probably what some tutorials didn't stress enough. It has to be a .wav format, a WAV file. So most songs are in MP3 format, like this one. So we really have to convert it. So I'm just gonna trim it down. So first of all, I'm just gonna select the beginning of it. Let's play it. Yeah, that's cool, but actually I want a little more. There's a really cool part in here, which that's enough. So now that I have our clip selected, I can just save as and select the extension of WAV. And you can do that in Audacity just, as well, no problems at all. So there you go, and once you do that, I'm just gonna cancel because I already have the file loaded. You can open Cinema 4D. Now in Cinema 4D, it's important that we create our objects, obviously, but also, a MoGraph and something related to MoGraph so we can apply that. So if you just create a cubes and apply the effect to it, it's not gonna have any effect. But if you go to MoGraph and clone an object and then drag the cube, and now we create an array of cubes, then we're definitely going to have a lot of effect in here. And I'm just going to make them a little spread out and then go back a little bit just to show the effect. So right now it's like this, but naturally we can apply our effect. So in MoGraph we're going to be on the sound effector, and here on the cloner object you have a tab called effectors, and you see the sound effector automatically. So whatever you add from MoGraph, that's just how it works. Like if you added something random like the delay effector, it would read automatically because MoGraph recognizes MoGraph automatically. But always make sure that in the effectors, just in case it wasn't here, you would just kind of get it and drag it to this section. So it would be here applying. I'm just gonna delete the delay effector because we're not gonna be using it at all. And now that we have the sound effect in here, let's go to the attributes for this. He asked for the sound file, so I'm just gonna select the sound file. So I got the asylum.wav, and if you play, you're gonna see them moving already, but you can't hear it. So it's very important to come here to this interesting icon in here, which enables the sound. And now, interesting. And then you can like just make this like 320 frames so you can have more. Now with metal songs, which have a lot of just a very high amplitude for the wave, it's very interesting. You have to think what kind of sample mode you want. So right now we are in peak, and what peak does is, well, whenever the distorted guitar and the drums come in, it's gonna just jump out like crazy, like you see. But if you choose to average, then it's actually gonna look at the song and say, well, the song is pretty loud, but we're really only going to move on the louder than average parts, and in the lower than average parts we're not gonna move as much. So that is probably the best option for you. You see, and then it kind of settles down, and now it wiggles a little bit. So it's very interesting that in metal, average may be the best solution. Now with sound effectors, of course, you can make the squares do whatever you want. So you can affect position, scale, or rotation. And I'm gonna check all of them. And then for the position, for example, I'm actually gonna change this to 20, 20, and 10. And then the scale 2, 2, and 2. And the rotation, maybe rotate is 10 degrees, 10 degrees, 10 degrees. So this is gonna be like the maximum setup when things are pretty wild, as you can see. So that is pretty much how you sound effect it. Now it's just kind of fun because I'm gonna delete the cubes, for example, and then add figures. And if you add that to your cloner object, you just have all those figures that can dance to your metal song. So it's just awesome. Anyways, that was just a quick tip on how to use MoGraph when you actually are using metal songs. So I hope you guys have enjoyed and found this useful, and we'll see each other next time.